Hi all. So today we're going to continue with our Cisco iOS router labs, and we're going to use IP SLA to track a default route out to ISP1, and we'll have a higher cost default route pointing out to ISP2 in the event we lose that track. Okay, so in the first couple of labs here for Cisco iOS routers, we only had this one link out to ISP1 functioning. The link to ISP2 was shut down, right? So today we've got this one enabled, and we're going to track the route out to ISP1 in order to get a failover out to ISP2 in the event we lose that, right? So in the edge router here, and the only config we have in here right now is other than default commands, these three interfaces are IP'd and turned on, right? So we've got our interface connected to ISP1, connected to ISP2 here, and then connected to our internal network down here. There's nothing else in here, not even a route statement in here, right? Okay, so let's get started. First, we'll create a track object. We'll call it object number 10. It's going to be a response time reporter, and it'll be operation number 1, and it'll be reachability that we're tracking with this track object. So we'll just exit out of there. We'll go into our IP SLA. We'll have it IP SLA1. We're going to have an ICMP echo out to our gateway at ISP1, the gateway IP, ISP1's IP here, .2. And we're going to track that out source interface, fast Ethernet 00, which is our interface here on the edge router that connects out to ISP1. Okay. So while we're in here, we'll just set the timeout to 1000, the threshold to 2, and the frequency to 3. How often it runs, right? And then we'll get out of there, and we'll create IP SLA schedule. SLA number 1, which we just created. The lifetime of this will be forever, and the start time is now. Okay, so let it run forever, start it now. And you can see already our reachability to that is up. So we need two routes in here. We need to do an IP route, our default route pointing out to ISP1. And we need to say track object 10. And then we'll do one more default route pointing out to ISP2. And we'll give it a higher cost there of 254. Okay, that's everything. So we'll just stop and have a look at the configuration before we move on to looking at what it's doing really, right? Okay, so we created track object 10. It's a response time reporter tracking reachability of IPSLA1. And here's our IPSLA1. It's sending an ICMP ping out to ISP1 right here, right? Our default gateway. And it's going out source interface for this is F00, which is just this interface here pointing, connected to ISP1. We've got a timeout of 1000, threshold of 2, so that's going to be 2 pings we can lose before it's declared down. And frequency 3, I think that's in millisecond, run every 3 milliseconds. So we have this command is scheduling IPSLA1 to run forever and to start now. So it's running now, right? Okay. So a couple of things you can do to monitor the SLA. You can do a show IP route track table. And you can see that the only track we've got going on is track 10, and that's against this default route out to ISP1. And it's up. Perfect. You can also do a show track and the object number 10. And you can see it's a response time reporter tracking reachability of IPSLA1. The reachability is up, and that's being tracked by the static route, because again the static route has the track 10 command on that track object number 10. Okay, so that's good stuff. So if we came over to ISP1 here and went into the interface that's connected back to the edge router, we put it in shutdown. We do a show IP route track table. You can see it's up, but now it's down. So the reachability for track 10 is now down. So if we just do a show IP route, you can see our higher cost default route pointing out to ISP2 is now the the gateway of last resort. So that's now our default route to get out of the Edge 1 router. And if we come back to the ISP1 router and do a no shut, we turn the interface back on, and we keep an eye on that track against the route here, show IP route track table. You can see it's already back up. And if we just do a show IP route, our default route is now pointing back out to ISP1. So that's it. Fairly simple to configure. It works very well. If you have any questions, comments, leave them on YouTube. I'll do my best to get back to you, and thanks for watching.